Clients often ask me, hey, I want to purchase a property that I'm going to hold and rent as a long-term real estate investment. How do I know if I'm getting a good deal? The best way to calculate your return on investment with a rental property is through something called cap rate, capitalization rate. It's actually a pretty easy equation to understand. I'll break it down for you right now. When you're purchasing a property that you're going to buy, hold, and rent for a long-term investment, the first thing you're going to look at is the purchase price. That's a simple one. What did you pay for the house? The next thing you're going to look at is how much can you rent the home for each month. Then you're going to take that monthly rental amount and times it by 12 for 12 months of the year. So for example, let's say you can rent the property for $2,000 per month. There's 12 months in a year. That means you're going to gross $24,000 every year in rental income. One of the key words I used there was gross. That's your gross rental revenue. What we want to find out is what your net income is going to be after expenses. So the next calculation you need to come up with is what are your monthly and yearly expenses. So some of the things to think about when you're calculating expenses are property taxes, utility costs, water and sewer, and maintenance. And you may even have a property manager or some other sort of monthly fee. Once you determine the monthly expenses, you're going to again times that by 12 so that you get an overall annual yearly expense. So let's keep using our example that we used before at $2,000 a month rent. Let's say the property taxes are $5,000 a year. You've got a couple $100 in utilities and maintenance each month. Let's just say, for example, it's going to cost you $8,000 per year in expenses for this property. So what you're going to do is you're going to calculate your total monthly and annual expenses. For example, in this case, let's say it's $8,000 per year in expenses. If you were pulling in $24,000 in gross revenue, you're going to deduct that $8,000 expenses, leaving you with a net income of $16,000 per year. What you're going to do from there is you're going to take that $16,000 of net profit each year and you're going to divide it by the total purchase price of the house. So for example, if you had $16,000 in net income and let's say you paid $200,000 for the property, so divided by 200,000, that leaves you with 0.08 or 8%. You have a cap rate of 8% in that example property, which honestly is a really good rate of return. I don't know many other places that you're going to get 8% on your money consistently every year. Most investors that I know want a cap rate of at least 7%. Now, I will say in the more riskier investments, you can typically expect a higher rate of return or a higher percentage. In the safer investments, you're going to typically see lower rates of return just because it's a safer investment all around. One thing to keep in mind, because I always hear this, yeah, but Sal, what if I get a bad tenant? What if they break a window? And my response is always, yeah, you're getting another stream of income. It's essentially a job. If you have to help your tenant with a repair or general maintenance a couple times throughout the year, it's not the end of the world. You're bringing in another additional income stream. No one ever said that investing in real estate was complete passive. It's not. There's not many opportunities where you will truly have to do zero work. So keep that in mind when you're getting into real estate investing and buying and holds for long term. There is some work involved, but you're getting a phenomenal return on your money as long as you use the cap rate equation that I helped you with.